I'm Tim Stevens, and this is the 2024 Ford Bronco Raptor. Ford's 418 horsepower monster has been on the market for a few years now, and not much has changed in that time. But the starting price certainly has. Now with an MSRP of over $90,000, is this still the ultimate off-road plaything? We're going to give it its full run-through and then give it the full Capital One review treatment to find out. Under the hood, we have a 3-liter twin-turbocharged Ford EcoBoost V6 engine making 418 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. It offers remote start, it's connected to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and if you burn premium fuel, you'll get 15 miles per gallon in the city, 16 on the highway, and 15 mpg combined. Up front, we have LED headlights and rigid fog lamps down below. At every corner, we've got 17-inch aluminum wheels wrapped in 37-inch BF Goodrich all-terrain tires. The Bronco has underbody protection throughout, as well as rock guards on the side with the removable running boards. Out back, we have a powder-coated rear bumper with an integrated hitch receiver that gives you 4,500 pounds of towing. Open the hitch, you've got 33.4 cubic feet with the second row up. Fold it down, you've got 73 cubic feet of storage. Inside the cabin, we've got seating for 5 with power-adjustable heated front seats. There's a dual-zone climate control system underneath a 12-inch touchscreen with integrated Wi-Fi hotspot functionality. There's connected navigation in there as well. But if you'd rather bring your own, there's wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, plus a wireless phone charger down below to keep your phone topped up. That's connected to a 10-speaker sound system and some other niceties in here too, like a leather-wrapped shift knob, leather-wrapped steering wheel, and outside, while the mirrors do not power fold, they are power adjustable and they're heated too. All right, I think those are all the numbers. Let's buckle up and hit the road. Let's see how she drives. All right, heading off-road in the Bronco Raptor, and I've been sampling a variety of different terrains today, from some off-road trails to some gravel roads like I'm on right now, and some even just open fields. And this thing is pretty excellent in just about anything you can throw on it. And part of that's thanks to this. It's the GOAT mode selector, which allows you to cycle through all the different modes that are baked in here. We've got slippery, we've got a tow haul mode, which we won't be doing any of that today. There's a sport mode for more sporty on-road driving, a normal mode for your day-to-day stuff. There's an off-road mode, which is kind of your mid-speed off-road setting, a Baja mode, which is your more high-speed off-road setting, and then there's a rock crawl mode all the way over to the right, which again is for your more low-speed stuff. Now that's a lot of options to begin with, but really it's kind of just the beginning, because on top of that I can manually toggle between 4 high, 4 low, and even 2 high if I just want some rear-wheel drive action, or I can leave that in automatic too. And then on top of that, I've got buttons up top here to maximize my articulation. I can lock the front and the rear differential separately. I can put it into a turn mode where it'll lock the inside rear wheel when I'm doing low speed turns, and I can turn the traction control off up there as well. Amazing amount of control and configurability for this machine, but honestly, regardless of what setting you're in, regardless of what you're driving on, this thing is incredibly fun. I'm gonna put it in Baja mode here and really open it up a little bit. As good as it is for rock crawling, as adept as it is in lower speed, low grip situations, this thing is really designed to go fast. And when you put your foot flat to the floor and let this thing rev itself out, it doesn't really start having fun until you get over about 60 miles an hour. That's when the suspension really starts to feel at its best. The car's moving around a lot. It really feels like an off-road, like a pre-runner kind of thing with super soft suspension. You've got to really pick your line smartly, and you've got to turn early and make sure that you are, setting this thing up, because the suspension takes a little bit to get moving in the right direction. But once you get it moving and once you're going at speed, this thing is so rewarding. It's so much fun to drive. That soft suspension means that even if you're on a really rough road, bumpy road, bad asphalt, railroad crossings, that kind of thing, this just kind of floats right over, which is fantastic. A lot of off-roaders are really tuned to be super stiff for those low-speed rock crawling conditions, things like that. Not this thing. This thing's meant to soak up bumps, and it does a great job at it. But there are some penalties on road. You've got a lot of wind noise from the hardtop on this thing, a lot of whistling, and a fair bit of noise from the all-terrain tires too. But that's kind of a small price to pay for everything else. This interior in general is a little bit Spartan, but it's really intelligently designed. Ford's brought a lot of the controls here in the center to keep them away from all the elements that this thing's going to be exposed to all around. And they've also added a lot of smart features that off-roaders will really appreciate. For example, there's a mount here for your action camera on top of the dashboard with separate USB ports to power your camera, so you don't have to be stringing cables all around the interior without it. They've got 6 separate aux switches, all pre-wired for all the lights and hitches and tow rigs and everything else that you could possibly want, all lined up, all wired up, and all ready for you to go. at the flick of a switch without having to do any, again, go digging in and putting more fuses in your box or anything like that. Is it worth over $90,000 though? That's a tough question to answer, especially given that this thing was significantly cheaper when it hit the market just a couple of years ago. But honestly, when you've got a product that is this much fun off-road, it's kind of hard to put a price on that.
For more information on the latest cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit the Capital One Auto Learning Center in the link below and follow our channel.